Hi, welcome to my review and first flight of the Fimi X8 SE 2020. We're in sunny Bulgaria today. It's getting pretty warm out here. I don't know how long the flight will be, it's a little bit windy, but we're going to try and just take it up, try out a few of the basic features, see how well it flies, see if the horizon's good, all the issues that people have had with the previous X8. We're just gonna have a look and see if it's improved. Right, let's give it a go. Let's get it started. Okay, right, I'm just gonna do takeoff. Here we go. Okay, it's pretty stable in the air actually. It's going up pretty high. I did take off slightly earlier just as a test run, and it definitely wasn't as stable as that. Right, I'm going to start record now, so you can see what's going on, and basically let's take it up. Yeah, it's going up no problem. Yeah, it's pretty stable in the air, I'd say. Let's have a look and see what the controls for the gimbal. Yeah, so that brings the gimbal up and down. You can turn round. Have a look. Let's just turn the drone round a bit. Let's have a look, see what we can see. Look back on the field that we're at. And yeah, it's pretty stable, I'd say. It's holding its position very well. But the wind's kind of in and out, so sometimes the wind's a little bit more strong. We're getting little gusts every now and then. It's quite a nice day apart from that. But actually, it's holding itself very well. There's some birds circling it. They're not happy. But it seems pretty happy with them about. So let's give it a go. Okay, so you can see the field that we're at. Let's see if we can take it forward. Yeah, it's going forward. Yeah, see if we can just yaw to there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's going pretty well. Just have a look around. One thing that I read was that when you basically need to if you want to get good video quality, you've got to set the quality to high, but we can't do that because we've already taken off. But actually I could probably stop recording and just hang on a second. I will change that over. So video quality, let's get that set to high now. Come back out of there. Very difficult to see in the sunlight where everything is. Okay, so it's blowing about up there a bit. Okay, well, I'm going to start the recording again. Okay, so we're now recording again, and we should get better video quality now. But it is holding its position really well. Like basically, it's moving about a small amount, but it's quite steady, I'd say, up there, even with the wind going on. So let's see if we can go a bit higher. Going up. I've not seen any wind warnings yet either, so that's pretty good. It's pretty happy. Yeah? It's quite windy now, but it's holding its position really well. So let's get up there and let's have a look around. Just sort of move to the side, look there. Yeah, so you can see over the village that we're by. And just sort of have a look around basically, see what's going on. It's going to be rotating quite fast at the moment, because it's in like kind of a faster mode. You can change it to like a more cinema like mode, so it will sort of like spin a lot nicer, but we're going to sort of keep it in this mode for the moment. It's recording in 4K 30 frames a second, sorry, which is the maximum that this drone can do, and that's pretty good video quality. So let's see how we get on. Just looking around at looking around at the scenery. That's our house there, sort of one with a massive red roof there. We sort of stand out a bit because I think we've got the newest roof in the village. But yeah, that's back to our house there. If I try and go forward, oh, that's going up, sorry. If I try and go forward, Yeah, it's moving forward towards the house now. Yeah, and it's, you know, the range on this is about, well, they say it's got 8 kilometers. I expect it probably wouldn't get that far, but it would get, you know, it would do a good range. This is not a toy drone. We basically, this is sort of trying to compete with a Mavic Air. Probably doesn't have all the same features, doesn't have obstacle avoidance, it doesn't have all the same features of that drone, but there's a few compromises in order to keep the price down. You can get this for around $450 to $500. I mean, $450 probably with a coupon. I got it for around about $470, shipped from an EU warehouse via Banggood, and that was with a case and 2 batteries. But you can get, there is a version that just has 1 battery and a box with no case, and that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's holding itself up there, no problem. It's pretty happy. It's not basically struggling to stay in position. So maybe we'll just have a little fly around, maybe bring it back down towards us so we can take a look at it. And I think the way to do that might be to activate return to home. So what it'll do is it goes up to its return to home flight height, and then it will kind of move back towards us, and it should come back down. But I probably won't let it land because it's some you know, the grass here is a little bit high, as you can probably see, and I don't really want it to fully land itself. But basically, I just want to see if I can get it back down near us so we can just take a look at the drone close up and have a look at some of its features. Right, so it's coming back down. Let's see if we can move the gimbal down. Maybe that will help it to find its landing pad. We've got like an orange landing pad over there. But basically, it looks like it might come down on top of me. So get ready to basically cancel the auto return, because I don't really want it landing my head, really. It's coming back down. It hasn't detected its landing pad, I don't think, but I can't see it in shot. It's coming down. The birds are definitely not happy about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel the auto return. Right, so I've cancelled the auto return. So basically now we can have a look. Yeah, it wanted to go down a bit there. Let's try and turn it round towards us. It's kind of facing us. Hang on, go up a bit. Pick the gimbal back up if I can. So we're looking at us. Hello. So let's kind of fly a bit forward towards us a bit here. I don't want to go too close because it's not 100% stable at the moment because of the winds a bit. So I've got control of it, so I'm not too worried. It's quite a noisy thing, but not as noisy as some other drones. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice looking drone. I'd say that like it's not as stable as say like a Mavic Mini in the air, but it's not too bad. But yeah, you sort of try and give you a good look at it, spin it round. I keep pushing the wrong button there. Hang on. So just sort of spin it round. You get an idea what's on it. Yeah, it's quite a cool drone really. But we don't want it to go down. So we put it up a bit, move it forward. It's quite a fast drone. We can do 40 miles an hour in it. I mean, I haven't got it in sport mode. I haven't tried to set it up for the fastest speed yet because I'm new to this drone. I don't want to like overdo it. But basically, yeah, you can see It's quite a fast drone. I mean, certainly faster than Mavic Mini, which is a great drone actually. You know, if you're just starting out, a Mavic Mini, it's quite easy to control. This seems a bit more difficult, but it is very windy today, so probably not fair to say that it's not easy to control. It is a pretty good drone. I mean, I nearly went into us just a second ago, but the controls were very responsive. I was able to pull it back out, so I've got no worries about controlling it. But yeah, it's the trouble is it's a bit of a windy day really, and I think we're on the borderline, not good to fly really. So I ideally wouldn't have wanted to fly today, but it's a Sunday, so it's the best day to fly. Haven't got work to be doing, so it's the best time to get out here. But we are having a bit of wind at the moment, but yeah, it's still hot. Anyway, right, so let's see if we can try some of the intelligent flight modes. Let's bring it back sort of towards us a bit. I don't want to go too close, but I want to bring it back towards me a little bit. Bring it back here a little bit, and I want to sort of drop it down, and then I want to try out some of the intelligent flight modes. So for example, you can do like droning, which is a favourite for people. Let's see what that's like. Hang on. So we draw a target around yourself, I think. So losing a bit of altitude there. Bring it up a little bit. Okay, draw a rectangle. And how do you do it? Draw a rectangle and shoot around the target. Okay, so I've done that. Hang on, let's pull it up a little bit. There we go. Draw a rectangle around there, which I've done. Oh, maybe you've got to do an actual rectangle here, right? You should see a go button. I don't know what's going on, why you don't see the go button really. So yeah, I've done that. So where's the? That's a bit of a shame. It's not picking that up, is it? Try doing that again. So, here we go. Yeah. The flight distance, you can sort of set it a bit more. You can do auto return and then go right, go. And now it should try and move away from me. It's not really doing it. Okay, let's do that again. Right. So flight distance 30 meters. Maybe do that. Auto return there. Hang on, auto return. That's that bit. Yeah, you want to toggle that. And then go. It's not doing it, is it? It's just not doing it. Right, hang on. Try it again. The trouble is okay, right, so on a flight speed of that, we want it to auto return, so let's toggle. Right. It's difficult in this sunlight to see what's going on. Maybe so flight speed is that, flight distance, 2 meters, go. You're going to do it? Maybe that's the thing, maybe you got to do that rectangle now. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to want to work, does it? I don't really, it's not, here we go. This is sort of the kind of shot you see with people on holiday, and they, you see them on a beach, there's no wind, there's perfect weather, and basically they do this feature, and cinematically the drone will fly away. As you can see, it's not quite as simple as that. You never see them with a controller in their hand. You know, it looks very amazing. But as you can see, we spent a few minutes there trying to get that to actually happen. Now, it's difficult to see this screen in the sunlight, so it's possible that it's just user error. So I wouldn't mark this drone down. I've certainly seen other reviewers do that feature and they haven't had a problem. Now I think it's returning to us now. I think it's coming back, so it should go back to exactly where it was, and basically then we can try another flight mode. and it will basically yeah, there's quite a few flight modes. Now these are the sort of features that were left off this was the kind of features that people thought might be on the Mavic Mini, and this drone, it's at a price point, I think, that a lot of people are making that decision. Do I go with the Mavic Mini? Do I go with this one? I've got a Mavic Mini. It flies very well. I mean, I don't think I've flown it in wind quite like this, so you know, I felt like it was a really easy to control drone for a beginner. This is a little bit harder, but I think it depends on the day, really. And but this has more features. It has the ability to sort of like track you, follow you. You know, it does that droney that we just shown where it moves away. Does the, you know, the kind of standard, you know, when you see a drone on a TV advert, moves away for you. It has a lot of features that people want in the Mavic Mini. So that's the thing, really. You know, for less than a Mavic Mini, you're getting features that the Mavic Mini doesn't have, and more closer to what the Mavic Air 2 would have. Of course, the Mavic Air 2 is an excellent drone. You know, if you've got the budget for it, get that one. But this here, if you haven't got that kind of budget, it's an excellent drone. You know, maybe in calmer conditions, although it certainly hasn't really struggled with the wind. It's more me struggling with the wind, trying to control it. But yeah, basically, it's a nice drone. Right, so let's just spin it round, pick the gimbal up again. Oh, hang on. Yeah, picking that up. Yeah, there we go. Right, so okay, so I'm going to get some altitude. Right, take it up a bit because I want to kind of avoid, there's some trees nearby. Right, okay, so let's see if we've got some more intelligent features here. You've got stuff like waypoint modes, so you can kind of drag, you can say on a map, I want you to do this and that. So here we go, drag to point of interest. So you can say do this at this height. Hang on, so we're going to say go to a height of 65 meters. Don't do anything at this point, and then you can go here. Again, I don't want it to do any more height. There, like that. Waypoint should be more than 10 meters. Huh? Shouldn't be more than 10 meters. What's it talking about? Okay, hang on. Right, I don't want it to do that. Right, and then I want it to come back sort of round about here. Let's see. Should be more than 10 meters. Well, I would have thought that is more than 10 meters, but okay. Maybe it's very, yeah, maybe you have to zoom out a bit here. Maybe I can clear the waypoints off, then zoom out and say, okay, go over here, okay, and then fly it, you know, fly it like 60 meters high, sort of like round about that, then fly here, 60 meters high, and then return like that, maybe over to there. Right, okay, so now what we can do, okay, so we've done that. Now we can say, okay, flight speed. Okay, right, so let's see how it does with the waypoints. Right, low battery. Here we go. So we've got 29%. So I think we're gonna have to bring her down. Hang on a minute. I think it's going somewhere. So so we're gonna exit the mode. Yeah, this is why you need another battery, really. This is why you should have 2 batteries for definite. Okay, right, so let's return home. Okay. We don't want to, basically, when it gets down to about 29-30%, I think you should be landing this, because it's in strong winds and it's trying to compensate for that wind. So yeah, definitely we want to do that. So I want to get out of the, oh hang on, cancel. Yeah, so it is returning home. I'm probably going to have to land it manually because I don't know if it's going to detect the pad here. Hang on, oh hang on, need to get control back here. All right, it's auto return, it's still happening. So okay, right, we're coming down. I mean, this drone is meant to have landing pad detection. So, and I have got an orange landing pad, so I'm going to take it out of auto return mode a second. Oh, hang on. Very windy. Just all of a sudden, every time I try and do a landing, we get high winds. So that's a bit of a pain. Just bring it down a bit so that the winds aren't too high. Oops, don't want to hit the GoPro there. Why is it not cutting? It's not cutting the engines there. That's a bit of a worry. Right, that land. Okay. That land. Why hasn't it landed? I have landed. There we go. Hang on a minute. Right, it's landed. Hang on. It's landed there. That was weird. That I'm a bit surprised there. I thought that it would detect that it was close to the ground, and that it's basically landing. So unless I did something there that I shouldn't have done, certainly on the Mavic, that would have realized that it was down to the ground now. It would have started to go into landing mode. I mean, I thought it was landing on the screen, but that's not good, because I mean, as you can see, we've got blades of grass nearby. It's not too bad. They're not you know, they're not like thick enough to cause a problem for the props, but that is a worry, that if it won't land correctly, then you know, that's a little bit worrying. I've not seen that on other reviews, so perhaps it's me. I definitely got a feeling. I mean, I was going to come out here. This is the first flight, the first time I've flown this. I was going to come out here and I was going to say to you that this is better than this is more valuable for your money than a Mavic Mini, because you get the 4K 30 frames. You know, you get it's a bigger drone. It's probably going to do better in wind than the Mavic Mini. But I get the feeling now, after flying a Mavic Mini, you know, in more crowded areas than this, I just get the feeling that I would feel much safer if I was a beginner getting a Mavic Mini, and then kind of, because I never had that issue before with the Mavic Mini. I've been able to land that drone on that pad, yes, manually, but I felt like I had a lot of, you know, good control over it, really fine precision control, using the same phone, same app. I've got a Xiaomi Mi 9 T, is it Xiaomi MT, is it? No, sorry, Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. I think that's the phone. Anyway, I've used the same app. I've used yeah, obviously different controller because I'm using the Mavic Mini controller, but there's just a feeling there that drone was not going to switch off. I was worried. I was thinking, am I going to have to hover it there until the battery finally runs out and then it just falls down? That's a worry, I'd say. That's a worry. Now, it may just be me not being the most experienced drone flyer, but it just felt to me that yeah, that was I mean, I tried it just before I filmed this video. I had a quick takeoff, a bit of a false start of the video, and I did land it again, and it did detect that it was landing, and it landed fine. So maybe that's a little bit unfair, but it just that feeling that you're not as in control of it as on the Mavic, maybe. So the buyer beware, I guess. But I mean, it is a good drone. I think you get good footage. There's a lot of reviews that say that this is a great drone. I'm not a photographer by trade. I'm not, you know, I'm new to this. I don't think I'm the right person to get the most, you know, from this film wise, but yeah, just to feel, you know, a lot of people are like me. A lot of people are just hobbyists and enthusiasts and want to have a go. They're not like professional drone, you know, flyers. So they, you know, this is the sort of price that this drone is. I mean, a lot of people who are new or beginners are going to go for this because they can afford this, as opposed to say a Mavic Air, which is, you know, you're talking $800. So this is definitely a good value drone. I just felt that the Mavic Mini was a little bit easier to control. Maybe that's a bit unfair, but I don't know. I felt like when I got that Mavic out and I first flew it, it felt easy. And I was being mobbed by kids in the park at the time, and I was still controlling that drone as if like, yeah, it was going where I wanted it to go. It was landing where I wanted to land. Even though there were kids hanging off my arms, they didn't know anything about social distancing. But basically it felt very easy to control, and I'm not sure I got that from this. That could be unfair because of the higher winds, but I don't know. I think it's a good drone. It's a good drone, and obviously I need to do more with it. That's the first flight, but with the Mavic Mini that I have, I felt like I was in more control of it, really. So that's a concern, you know, that's a concern. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, I don't want to put you off. I think it's a good drone. I mean, but just beware, you know, the prices are similar. If you can compromise on the video quality, you know, the Mavic Mini only being 2.7K, sorry, 2.7 versus you know, 4K. So I think, you know, unless you are desperate to save money, I think the Mavic Mini at its size, it's not, you know, maybe it won't hurt as much if it hits you. I think I'd be tempted, and I'm glad that I went for the Mavic Mini first, and I got this one second. But you know, if you have to buy something, this is a good price. But I just felt like the Mavic Mini was really easy to control. But yeah, I mean, this is a good drone. It just I think maybe because I'm newer to this hobby than others, maybe it's a little bit harder for me to control. Maybe I'm not used to it. So yeah, I think just, yeah, for me at my stage, Mavic Mini. But this isn't a bad drone, and maybe if you're a bit more experienced, you probably get more out of it than I have. Anyway, thanks for watching, and you know, hopefully you can tune in for the next video. Don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll have a think. Maybe even take the Mavic Mini out, show you that one. But thanks for watching.